how's it going? Another day here in the stew, and today I have something different for you. The past few videos I've put out, I've showed you sort of weird instruments from my collection. I have a whole closet of horns back here, just full of weird stuff. And I showed you some custom builds, like my custom Canstell Flugelhorn. I showed you that some, eccentric horns, like that Holton F100 Flugelhorn with a weird lead pipe design. But today I wanted to show you something different. Today I wanted to show you a horn that is a daily driver for me. It's a horn that I love owning. It's a horn that I play just about every day. This is the Edwards X19 Flugelhorn. A fantastic horn, sounds fantastic, plays fantastic, and underrated aspect, records extremely well. So, the Edwards X19. What is the X19? The X19 is the main flugelhorn in the Edwards lineup. You have the X13 trumpet, the X17 trumpet with a more traditional design, and you have this, the X19 flugelhorn. So to understand the X19, you sort of have to read into the backstory. It all started with Paul Tynan, who wanted to design a horn that would replace his Queen-On, which was getting pretty old. If you've ever played on these Queen-On horns, you know they play fantastic, but man, they really weren't built well from the factory. And now, decades later, they're starting to show their age. Most of these horns by this point are getting a little rough. Like I said, from the factory, they really weren't built all that well. And today, decades later, many of them have pretty leaky valves. So getting into the X19, it features a 0.425 bore, which is a small bore flugelhorn, but not too small. I think that's sort of right in the sweet spot where you get a horn that is responsive, but a horn that you're not really going to overblow without trying too hard. It also features this incredible 6-inch bell. That's a 2-piece bell. Now I know 6-inch bells aren't exactly odd in the flugelhorn space, but check out this bell throat. It's big, and it just creates so much color. Such an awesome bell to play on. It also features a heavy third valve cap here to, give it a little more balance. And it features something that you probably saw on other Getson horns. This is an adjustable third valve slide trigger. So if you don't like the reach on your trigger, you can actually unscrew these little spots right here and open it up a little bit, which is really cool. It kind of gives you a little more customization with your third valve slide adjustments. Now, the kicker with the design on this flugelhorn that I absolutely love, the bracing. There's hardly any bracing on this horn. Very, very minimalist when it comes to bracing. Just taking a look at it. Once you start playing the horn, you sort of notice where braces usually are with the flugelhorn, and they're just not there. Typically you would have a brace right here connecting the bell to this part. On some older ones, like a Queen-On flugelhorns, you would see a brace connecting your third valve slide to the bottom bow right here. And you're also missing a few braces in between the slides as well. Very, very minimally braced, if that makes sense. About the only spots I've seen bracing, holding the horn together, is right here on the lead pipe and right here on the bell. And that's kind of your only brace points on this flugelhorn, which is so cool. The end result means that you get a flugelhorn that just resonates in your hands. When you have a horn that resonates this much, it feels like an extension of you. If you're not fighting the horn, you're sort of singing along with it, which is such an awesome feeling to have when you're playing a horn. And it's a feeling that I haven't had on a lot of flugelhorns. This horn also features Amato water keys, which definitely isn't odd or rare, but I do like how this one is set up. If you take a look, I thought it was a mistake at first, but this Amato water key faces that way, this one faces that way. At first I thought it was a mistake. I thought one of the slides was in backwards, but you get to sort of quick dump all of your water on this horn. You put your thumb on this one, on this side, and on the other side, you put your middle finger and you just dumped out all of your water, which is so cool. You don't have to worry about hitting the same button on the same side. You don't have to worry about levers, trying to mess with levers and getting water on your hands, and you're done. And it's impossible to talk about, any Edwards or Getson horn without mentioning the valves. They are just absolutely world-class like always. This horn also features a Queen-On style lead pipe, and no, not in the way that you would expect. This horn has a Queen-On style lead pipe up to this point. The mouthpiece receiver is your regular large Morse mouthpiece. You don't have to worry about buying a French taper mouthpiece. You get the feel of a Queen-On lead pipe with a mouthpiece receiver that'll take all of your standard mouthpieces. I think this flugelhorn is doing something that no other flugelhorn on the market is doing, which is why I love it so much. I feel like most flugelhorns fit into one of two camps. You know, the first flugelhorn camp is sort of, I call it the concert band sit-down brass band style flugelhorn. You know, the Yamahas, the Bachs, the horns that do sound good for jazz, but their tone is very direct. It's sort of a horn that would fit in a section in a symphonic piece or a brass band piece. Fantastic flugelhorns, but they're sort of built with that in mind. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the Queen-on flugelhorn, you know, a flugelhorn that probably is more focused on jazz and commercial, where you have more of a fuzzy tone, more of a soloistic tone, but not necessarily a flugelhorn you would take to a concert band, brass band sort of deal. Now, I love the X19 flugelhorn because I believe it gets that awesome commercial soloistic sound while also having a nice direct tone that can be easily amplified, that can be easily recorded. And that's why I think it's the best flugelhorn on the market that you can buy right now. With that said, here's a little demo of the X19 in action. To demonstrate a little bit of that soloistic tone, here's the X19 playing my song that's coming out this summer called Suspended. This is a track that's going to be on my album coming out on August 1st. Make sure you look up Soul Orchid on Spotify. Make sure you stream my first single, SPACY, on Spotify. It's really catching a lot of attention overseas, which is something I didn't expect. Very exciting to see. Make sure you stream SPACY. Make sure you follow me on Spotify, so when this song drops for real, you see it first. And really quick, special thanks to Getson and Edwards for always making the best horns ever. Now, here's Suspended.